I believe we're currently live. Excellent.
We made it.
We did.
Woo!
Okay, so let's go through and do some audio checks while I go and send all the alerts out to everywhere, because I can. So, starting off at the very tippy top, let's get, Bon, could you do me a favor and do an audio check?
Yes, I know. I need to project. How are you doing?
Good. That's actually coming through pretty decently. It's still a little on the quiet side, but we can manage it. It's fine.
I keep hearing Discord boops.
That's because I'm sending out Discord boops.
Oh, that's you. Okay.
Yes,
I
because
might
I don't have like a robot that does this. Every time you see all my promos, that's Omni going to every single Discord server I'm a part of and manually clicking go.
If it helps, we do that as well for ours. We don't have a bot, and we just have to go around everyone's servers.
Yeah, I did try and get a bot to post in 20 different Discords. What I did instead is posted one Discord 20 times.
Oh no!
Yeah. Also, I tagged you.
Everyone tagged it in every single one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had that issue too. Plus, it doesn't hurt the fact that most of those bots have been co-opted to skim for data for like AI and for a lot of different places. So like, not that keen on them anymore. I'll do it the old-fashioned way.
They used to just be used for games.
Yeah, they did used to be used for games, and they became evil. By the way, if anyone ever watches this who ended up becoming my editor, congratulations. That's going to be your fucking problem when I get to it. But, you know, that's if we ever get successful enough to actually do that. By the way, for anyone currently watching this on YouTube, thank you all so very much for watching this on YouTube. We're still getting ourselves set up. I want to take a brief moment to thank the incredible people that will one day maybe make this actually possible to, like, do more, which would be my incredible patrons. Ampersand, who's actually playing right now, Atlas, Heinrich, Necronomus, Souls Rolls, and at Tier 3, the incredible Mossy the Mighty. A huge thank you to everyone who subscribes to patreon.com/LastOmnitect. You can find my webcomics there for free, even if you're not a member, and members get to see it 2 weeks early. And also you'll get access to all my TTRPG stuff and my YouTube stuff in advance. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. And without further ado, we're going to go right back to our audio checks. So, next up, let's go with Paul.
Hello, my name is Paul. How is everyone doing over in YouTube land? Do not forget to give a subscribe to Omni's channel, because then you get to see us and get the bell notification as well. And that's just really nice.
Thank you so much, Paul. I appreciate it. I'm still learning to do that on YouTube. Please subscribe, slap the bell, hit the like button, disfigure the page, whatever you need to do to make it appear. Thank you guys so much. I don't want to just copy Jacksepticeye and slap it in the face, but you know, I'm not Irish enough for that. Moving on, Lolly, could you do an audio check for me?
Absolutely not, because I've just forgotten how to words, because you asked me to speak and all words that ever existed have just piddled off out my brain, because that's what happens. And it's fine. It only happens every single time without fail. So, you know, one day I'll learn words.
Perfect. You did it. You did it. I will say there was a moment I was just like, your name will suffice, and then you spoke. You did perfect. Thank you so much, Lolly. I've been there. We've all been there.
I love that you can look at me and you can look and you see my face and you're like, oh, she's stalled. Yep. She's done it again.
We've all been there. We've all been there. And finally, the incredible JJ.
Hello, friends, YouTube peoples. Welcome to our lovely little chaotic hot mess of a group here, who I love being with. And yeah, I'm happy. We've been apart for a while. That's been a long time.
God, weeks.
I'm so happy that we're back together, gonna get back into it. So, yay.
Hell yeah. I agree, JJ. Much love. Seriously. There's just something about, like, being stuck and, like, not being able to advance what you're doing. And I hate it. We're all GMs. We all know the struggle. Like, it's just agony. But here we are. We're together again. Took long enough.
At least, this is not a dig, but it's also a tiny bit of a dig at my beloved players. At least your characters stay together sometimes.
That is true. That is true. I do beg you guys to do so, and you all do comply so nicely. So
I'm lucky if I get a whole session where my party stays together.
No.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I don't mind when you guys do separate because I try to make it a little more social and, you know, while we do have combat, I don't think the game falls apart when we're separated. Speaking of, let's take a brief moment to just pop in and say to everyone who's currently out there, hello, I am the last Omnitect on Unicorn Head Studios, my little Actualplay TTRPG channel, and welcome to the next session of Legacy First Flight, our fast and light tale in the world of tomorrow, and my indie TTRPG set in a space opera universe of my own design, and the live beta of it. Literally, like the live broadcasted, like alpha/beta of it. So, welcome, everybody. And with that, we can pop on over to the actual page. Huzzah! It should transfer over. Just gotta give it a second. There we go. It's still I'm still getting used to the stream deck. There we are. And everyone is here with one exception. Our incredible friend Redemption VA unfortunately has to work today. So Red, love you. We're thinking about you. Hope you have a good day, homie. Much love. We've all been there. We know the agony.
Capitalism stinks.
Capitalism is miserable, and none of us are willingly participating. So, let's do a little recap about what happened last session, because it's been quite some time. I'm not going to pick on anybody. I'm going to instead say, whoever does it first, I'm going to give you an extra mote. And if you contribute something useful, I will give you a mote as well.
We planted a virus.
Context as well is nice.
That's fair.
No,
Let's just say words.
I would like to know context. A recap implies relative context in scenario for the folks watching and you guys.
We planted a virus on the strike
Zenith.
fascists we killed.
A virus? What kind of virus?
It's Geist mouse. Hold on, let me get the
Like biological, computer, like not everyone knows
the
exactly.
virus
It's
on
a
the
happy
actual
thing.
like wrist link
Yeah.
in his
Okay.
files.
Zenith did a cool moment and rolled really well with all the help and everything, and so did like a multi-step virus thing,
Fair.
and looked weirdly delighted by the horror they knew it was going to cause. They're like,
Yeah, because it what was it like? It's oh god, what was the acid one?
Yeah, you guys had
Blight.
Blight plus mouse plus Geist. Yes.
yeah,
Okay, I agree. Very important detail. And I'm glad you guys mentioned that again. Thank you both very much. You both get a mote. Because that is important. So you both planted a computer virus into the fascists, or at least into the system the fascists are using to communicate to try to dig as much as possible.
And as soon as they open it up, we might find a traitor.
Excellent. Who else has anything to contribute from last session? What happened generally last session as well?
We kicked butt.
I distracted one of our people with skill and precision. I distracted, is it Error? Is that how I pronounce that?
Yeah.
Error, yeah. Because he was having a bit of an issue identifying things, and he kept saying something was a plant, and I was like, no, it's a gun. So I think there was some confusion, maybe some miscommunication there, but yeah. So I distracted that guy, while two of our comrades went off and chatted with the other person. So that's what I did. That was my contribution.
Excellent. I think that's pretty good. Thank you. Also, I love seeing the session notes popping up. Excellent. Okay. You get a mode as well. And I figure we have one last person. JJ, was there anything you wanted to add from last session?
I'm foggy brained.
Fair.
What I'm trying to remember is that I remember that Becky and Amaya, when we followed, who was it that we followed?
Attore.
Attore, okay.
Yes.
I can't remember his name. We followed Attore, and we found out that, like, the people, I guess the Kaminoshans, I guess they all do this. I'm not really sure if they all do it or if it's just this particular, like, faction.
Yeah, the isolationists.
Yeah, the isolationists. Basically that they, like, hide hidden, like, messages with each other. And basically that we found, or Tori found, he was looking into, like, this, I don't know, I guess you'd call it, like, a tool tool shed basement thing, a maintenance room maybe. I don't know exactly what. Anyways, he finds a secret message that the isolationist left, basically saying that they are alive, but that they made it seem like they were not. And that I think with that paper, he knows where they went. And so that's kind of where we ended things.
Okay, yeah, that's perfect. That is exactly what I was hoping to hear. And that is, yeah, that's a huge detail, and that works. I'm hearing...
So many
Just-
boobs.
It's mine. I don't know how to turn that off.
Okay.
Somebody
that's
keeps messaging me on Discord. I don't know. how
If
to
you
turn
go
off
into Discord and you click, you can put on Do Not Disturb mode, which is like in the
Okay.
bottom left, and if you do that, it'll prevent any of the updates. I was wondering, because I was like, I
no,
muted
that's
mine. I was like, why the hell? Where are the alerts? I'm seeing nothing.
Everybody
Yeah,
looking
no,
at their
it's from
phones.
mine.
We're just...
Yeah, it's like when someone has a Hello Moto as like a sound button they can press on their phone, and like all the old folks look down at their phones and you're like, stop doing that. They don't deserve that.
Stop bullying them.
There we go.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you so much, JJ. Much love. That's perfect.
Okay, I got it. Yeah,
Yeah, that was important.
people just chatting in the thing that I'm in. I just keep getting a group message. I keep getting notifications.
Believe me, I fucking feel it. It's like there's a reason I have like a whole ritual of like, I gotta mute this and this before we start any stream. It's
Yeah.
incessant. You can be completely available all week. They'll wait for the 5 minutes you're on someone else's stream to broadcast.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, since we have, I think that's a good catch up. So everyone here get all the motes you normally would, plus one extra, because you all contributed to the thing. And Lee, because you contributed first, I'm gonna give you an extra mote.
Thank you.
So
That
Wow,
makes 5
favoritism.
I did spell out my favoritism at the very beginning by saying whoever went first would incur my favor. So it's not favoritism, it's fair, ruthlessly fair.
It's favoritism. Yeah.
Yeah,
that one.
exactly.
Favoritism.
Exactly. I threw a $10 bill in the middle of the subway. Whoever clambers over everyone else to snatch it first is the one who gets it. It's fair. Not really. That's not fair at all. That's really fucked up. So.
Just reinventing Squid Game.
Oh God, never, never, no, never, absolutely not.
I'd be doomed. Like, no.
Right.
All right. So. Let's catch you guys up a little bit on what occurred last session. So, as you guys said, and recapped very neatly for us, which I appreciate, the beginning of the session actually started with you guys completing the combat that you had been participating in the session before, which, in no small part, because don't forget this is a beta, we found out some of the enemies were a little more overtuned than I planned. So, we hadn't finished the session before. The next session, we finished it, with you guys actually managing to survive the combat with the revised, properly balanced mechanic rules, and having blown up a bunch of these drones under the command of this singular commanding officer who appears to have been an Imperial soldier. Definitely was an Imperial soldier. Before you blew up his head. I can't remember who did it, but someone literally like blew them up with a grenade launcher.
I think
and
that
they...
was
Red.
the other Anazali, yeah.
Harlan.
Yeah,
Harlan.
Harlan.
Yeah.
I keep wanting to say Haken because that's the warrior poet, but that's wrong.
Yes, a totally different species, also an NPC, also not a player character, but point made, yes. Harlan blew him up with a grenade launcher. You guys managed to fish out the pieces of this fascist drone commander from the trees and the gardens of this region of, namely this like little area called Recalore, which is sort of this quiet little Desperandi colony in the middle of this section of the planet, which has just been completely dark for quite some time. And you guys kind of came here to find out what the hell is going on. Well, it turns out what's going on is it's crawling with fascists. Never a good thing. And hello there. That was weird. It's never a good thing when that happens. So you guys managed to fight your way through it and find out that these guys were attempting to like search for something. Like it was a bunch of drones and this one commander. You fished out his wrist link. You put a virus in the wrist link and introduced it in their network, which if it's recovered and reconnected to their network, which like all of your communication networks are currently down, because there's no communication on this planet besides shortwave near-area radio and direct line-of-sight laser connection, which this thing does not have. If this guy opens it up, it's going to be a horrifying display of hacking prowess. Likewise, two of you, which I believe was Zenith and Louis, distracted Era, who is technically a security officer with the Latali Mining Corporation.
They're under the JSA.
Under the JSA is a part, yes. The JSA is in charge of the Latali Mining Corporation. A client of the JSA. He's here to investigate what happened to the planet because it's gone dark, and they hold a contract owning the planet, as far as they're concerned. So if the residents aren't present, they plan to take possession. Likewise, while you guys distracted Lieutenant Ara, you also had Ettore 238, who snuck off, and I believe it was Becky and Amaya who followed Ettore to find out what he was doing. It turns out that Ara realized that there's no way this is Common Oceans who did this. In fact, the drones you blew up are clearly not Common Ocean, although they were designed to carry Common Ocean weaponry, which means someone's trying to frame them and pass it off as some sort of internal colony violence. Which disappointed Ra immensely because he very clearly would have been perfectly fine just putting down another rebellion. Whereas on the other hand, Ettore found out, when you guys snuck after him and followed him, that there's somewhere in the area must be survivors. Because they left a note hidden inside of a part of this building's infrastructure. In this way that, like, a lot of resistance cells will, like, leave discrete notes, sort of a check here, check there kind of a thing. That is where we pick up from where we were last. With you guys, I figure, like, still separated out. Ettore would have gotten up and turned to look to, we'll have Becky and Amaya up first. So, as you both are, like, standing in this room, in the quiet, you can see that he's kind of just like... Ettore is kind of just like looking at this rag and scratching his metal chin. So I'm not sure exactly where to go from here. Do you have any... Like, I have an idea of where they may be. But we're in this position now where... Out there is a JSA operative. Not sure I'm going to have the time to go properly look into it. You know? I don't want him following me.
You did ask us for help, so I would rather leave it up to you, whether it be you or us who take point.
Here's my big thing. I'm good. I don't mind making contact first. I would think that'd be the right idea. That's why I came along. I wouldn't mind having one of you. Two of you? One might attract attention, and then Era goes sneaking around and finds something, and we don't need that. But two, if there's more than one of you and we do find them, they're Desprandi, and they're already xenophobic, and they've clearly been attacked. So if multiples of you show up with guns and armor and equipment, they might just try to kill you outright. And I don't want to go through all this trouble just to find them and then kill them in a gunfight. So, which one of you two thinks you'd be better to go with? And preferably the one that's more diplomatic. Like...
I was immediately, like, above table. I was gonna say, Amaya has medical, like, can stabilize people.
I wonder who.
One of you is one of you is actually medically certified and also has a also is a negotiator.
No, do you know what? I think Louis, yeah.
I mean, to be fair, he would probably be, like, considered relatively harmless.
The giant robot would be less harmful.
No point is anyone going to think Louis is a threat, so...
Yeah.
He has great people skills, though.
Right?
You know?
Nobody who has a soul has ever shot at Louis, so...
Yeah, they've been confused. They've been confused by him.
Yeah.
They have never shunned him.
People respect my disarming tone, okay?
It's like shooting at a puppy. A really
Right. Or like a
puppy.
child. A small child.
And at no point is anyone going to look at Louis and think, yeah, that's the guy that's attacked us. Because
That's the threat. That's the threat right there.
so maybe Louis is actually the best person to do this.
All right.
I'm hearing a lot of support for Louis, I'm just saying, you know?
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Go ahead.
With
Becky.
Amaya, yeah?
Yeah. Becky will turn to Amaya and be like, yeah, I think that's up your alley.
Fine, we'll go with plan B.
Well, for the record, it's just Amaya and Becky who's here. Right
Yeah,
now,
I know,
you...
I know.
We're not in the room, my guy.
I know.
I'm still in the distance, like, just Louis just like, I feel like I'm being excluded from something.
I think she'll also
My
give...
FOMO senses are tingling. I want to be part of the thing.
Becky will
Yes,
also
that's
give
canon now.
Amaya-
You've got those.
Yeah. Becky will give Amaya what metagel she does have, and be like, if you come across them, hopefully, you know, in case you need it.
Thank you.
All right.
I'll take good care of this.
Would it? I do still have my drones. Should I send her with one? Is that possible, or is it because we're too far away it wouldn't connect?
You don't know how far they're gonna go underground. There
That's fair.
might be a difficulty with connection, but the
I
others...
also...
Mhm.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
No.
was just gonna say I also wouldn't recommend bringing the drone just because we've just fought a whole bunch of drones, and so they might mistake your drone for, like, in the same vibe, like it's another drone, you know. So
There's the other final detail, which I figure I should... I'm not going to have you roll an intelligence roll. Your character's smart enough on a baseline roll of even like as long as you don't roll double ones. Ira is very perceptive from what you've noticed. Like, very perceptive. And he notices little details. And if you have a drone missing from your rack, he'd notice.
yeah.
And then he might be able to find out whatever they're seeing through the drone. So...
That's fair.
Why don't we just knock that man out? Why is that man here
Knock
again?
him out!
I completely forgot why he's here.
You guys is
Chloroform?
called. Technically, so the reason he's here is because you guys agreed as a joint mission between the JSA and the Common Oceans to find out what the fuck happened.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
so,
the only reason he's here, is that he's here to make sure that the colonists are either dead or if they're alive, their status and what attacked them. And then if it's not concerning the JSA, their job is to ostensibly fuck off.
and just start mining.
Preferably if there's no one here, start mining. If there is, they probably need to leave, whether they'll acknowledge that or not. And we all know why the Common Oceans are here on a Common Ocean colony that went silent, I think.
Right.
Don't need to spell that out.
Okay.
So after handing over the metagel, Becky will actually turn to Ettore and be like, so how far away do you want me to lead Ara?
Just don't let him into the under section of the building. Like, there's the basement level and anything... Where we're going to go is going to go under the basement level. Not that there's an easy way to see how to access it. I'm not even sure you would know. Actually, no, you're an engineer. You might actually know. Just keep him away from the sub-basement levels. Willing to bet that's probably where he's hiding.
So keep him away from any ventilation, water, heating, things like that.
Anything above ground, no one's going to give a shit about. They're not going to be hiding in the air conditioning vents above ground.
No, but leading is the issue.
Just keep him above sub-basement 2.
Mm-hmm.
Anything below that, we're starting to get into dangerous places.
Anywhere below that, just knock him out.
Just-
Knock him out.
That
Leave him folded like a lawn chair somewhere.
Is Amaya actually saying that?
Yes, Amaya would tell you. Amaya would literally look at Becky and be like, if you have to neutralize him, like, knock him out. I'm not going to tell you to kill anybody, but I'm going to tell you, knock him out. If he's getting too curious or in the wrong places, knock him out.
I'll restrain
Leave
him.
him.
It's gonna be
Yeah.
fine. We have 3
Restrain
of us.
him.
It's gonna be fine. Alright, and then I guess Becky will be like, and then afterwards, I do need to talk to you. To Ettore. But then, like, she will just start making her way back.
Tori gives you a nod, and you start heading back up to the surface. Right. So, let's see if they're there. And he's going to start leading you, Amaya, into, like, the ductwork behind the walls. And There's a series of like what looks like ladders that go down. You're still... So here's the question. Your hard suit's pretty big. He's not going to say you can't wear it. I'm going to let you know. From this point downward going onward, you will, because of the bulk of your hard suit, be suffering a -3 penalty to any might, coordination, or endurance checks on your hard suit. You can choose to disengage your hard suit and leave it in this back room here and go down without it. You can take any guns you have on it either, and as well as also equipment or armor you have underneath.
So it's cave diving.
It's ductwork, basically. So like
Ductwork,
anyone who's ever climbed through like the back of a building, if you've ever been to the back of a bowling alley or like or anywhere near like a sewer or pipework,
No.
that's like
Oh yeah.
pretty
I
tight
do that
fit.
every weekend.
No, but I have been caving. Haha.
There you go.
There you go. No, I think I would leave it off anyways because I'm trying to be as less like I want to not look so aggressive. Like I'm coming here militarized. Like I want to be like, okay, look, I got my weapons and stuff like that, but I'm not really like a super big threat to you guys. Like, you know. So I think I would take that off.
Literally looking squishy, going, look, squishy,
Yes.
friend.
Listen, I'll do a little jelly roll for them if I have to. This, disarm them. I'll do it.
See, they're only isolationists because they don't know Amaya, but as soon as they know
That's
her...
right. That's
Fair.
right.
Fair. Okay. So if that's the case, your hard suit is disengaged, and you are now going to be you are now in whatever your base equipment is, which is good. That's fine. Okay. So as you get out of your hard suit and it seals up behind you and sort of locks in place, and you're probably not going to worry about somebody trying to steal it. It's not like a bike.
Yeah.
Several hundred tons of solid iron, all of which is effectively sealed itself to the ground. You're fine. It's like leaving a car behind with like wheel locks on every wheel and ripping the engine out. You're good.
Yeah.
And you scoot down into the darkness, and ahead of you, you can see a flicker of a flashlight as Ettore holds up a little like incandescent torch, and you begin to go deeper into the dark.
Okay.
So.
Above table, I'm glad it's you and not Becky, because claustrophobia, no thank you.
So, as you descend into the dark, we're gonna take a moment and pop away from that scene with Ettore, and return instead to Era. So, at the moment, the party is currently all on the surface of Recalore, in this larger, like, community garden area.
Is there anywhere up that we can see?
Yeah, at the moment, you guys... Remember when you guys arrived and Harlan ramped his bike over the edge of the building?
Okay, so it's still, like, all around.
Yeah, well, not just all around, but, like, he ramped up on top of a radio tower above you. That's still very much there. And there is a ladder, for the record. Like, the future in Legacy is mostly OSHA compliant. So, like, there is, like, actually an accessibility ladder.
So you're telling me driving up that ramp on a bike wasn't the only way we could have got up there?
It was probably the fastest way, since there was soldiers at the bottom, and climbing up a steep ladder while they shoot at you. I'm not ever gonna second judge, like, a player's actions. His job was get in there when no one else could. So, it made sense at the time, but now that it's not a firefight, there's no reason not to use the ladder. So.
And just let me know when I join the group.
Yeah, right about now.
Oh,
At the end of literally where we ended last session, where Lieutenant Ara said this is very clearly some kind of setup, and you all had your little reactions. Right as the end of that conversation, Becky, you emerge from one of the back wall, from like one of the corridors that you guys went down.
Becky, Lol, you're muted. You're muted.
Oh no! There
Yes,
we go.
fuck's sake. I would say, because Becky snuck off and we were being subtle, we're not going to be like, oh, you're back! 'Cause-
Fair. That's fair.
but I can imagine Josina's just spotting Becky come back, leaning Actually going, ask me if that's a plant. And just pointing at another random item.
Yeah. Is that a plant?
Becky, we're discovering what plants are.
Becky will actually turn to Era and be like, "You're Acris. Can you actually fly?"
Lieutenant, like, Ara slowly turns to look at you. A human.
That feels kind of rude.
And, like,
somehow.
slowly extends his arms until, like, the full 20 foot of his wingspan is quite visible. Yes. I can fly. You're a human. Can you breathe?
Yes. Now, in this instance, I think your bird's eye view would be helpful. Could you get a perspective that we can't?
And you're pointing up at the tower.
Yeah, literally just up at the towers.
He takes
What do your bird's eyes see, sir?
You know, I read Lord of the Rings once. And I gotta tell you, I got really fucking tired of the elvish bullshit that everyone started comparing to me to after that. You know how many stupid, cindering jokes I hear all the time just because I mean, as he's complaining, he begins flapping upwards and ascending the tower.
I'm gonna whisper. He can fly, you fool.
Hold on.
Becky's just like, man, I wish I could fly.
I need to actually roll now.
Oh,
to
no.
actually roll. Get my dice roll. It needs to happen at some point every session, so here we go. Okay.
Xena's watching goes, it's still a travesty they didn't include Tom Bombadil.
Tom Bombadil actually tilts me, and that's just as like a person who enjoys the books. Just random, just like Lord of the Rings, desperate search, random bush guy, and you know, I get it. It's a thing for the kiddos. Okay, no, he doesn't hear you as he flies upwards. It's a good like, I want to say it's a good 40, 50 feet above the ground where Red was. That's about right for how far he fell and how much damage he took. He got really lucky with my damage roll from falling damage. So, yeah, he's up there at the moment and sort of like taking a look around from the top of the tower. You've got maybe like 2 minutes to yourselves.
Becky, where's Amaya?
With the Tory, don't worry about it. We gotta keep him occupied until they're back.
Oh, Amaya, yeah. Okay, I didn't think she was like that, but alright.
Becky
Good job, Amaya. Get in.
Becky's just gonna be like, alright, we'll work with that. Can we
I bet that's what he's saying. Yeah?
Yeah. Zenith, do you think we could get any schematics from here? We've already been in the guts of the system. I was just hoping maybe we could find something we could use.
I will need to find a different item to do that with because we're not touching that one that we've just done with that bit.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
Like, I'm not touching that after I've done all I've done to it. No, Is there anything that she'd be able to act around available that could try and find a way to get some schematics? Console, anything like that available?
Normally you just tap into the comm system and just normally just like a low level like Wi-Fi system that's running around. But like I mentioned, all the systems are disabled because of what's going on.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that there aren't like partitions.
Yeah,
like,
there's like structures, there's like usually there's like some sort of like access panels and stuff around, so if you were to go to like a nearby access panel, you could try. It's kind of a crapshoot because you don't know how many of them are like connected to a deeper network and how many of them are just, this is the hydroponic system.
I open a door.
Yeah, I can tell you exactly what my water pressure is. Like other than that,
so it's probably better if we just
check
try
the
to
water pressure.
find a
Maybe it's like
different
building
route.
up.
yeah, it's kind of like the talk to plants feature or talk to animals feature. You can. Will it be useful?
Always.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like honestly, that's a if that's an argument to put me off the idea, that's terrible because sometimes that gives you really helpful stuff, and I actually give all my plants and animals really useful nuggets.
I'm not trying to put you off of it. 100% not trying to put you off of it. Just putting it in context. That's what we're basically at now, where all the systems aren't talking to each other, so it's a lot harder to be sure which ones have the information you need. As long as you're aware of that, we're good.
Sorry, so I should have probably have asked first. Would Becky have known that then as an engineer? Based
Um,
on what they've already discovered?
This is a thing you guys probably noticed last session, but
Okay.
it's something that bears repeating. You guys aren't used to operating in an environment this disconnected.
Okay.
Normally networks, again, this is a place that normally would have a network. So,
We
it's
are very
kind of like
used to
having,
internet access.
yeah, it's like having your internet out. Every once in a while you go like, oh, I'm going to do this thing, and then you go, right, internet's still out. Fuck. Like, that's where you're at right now. So you could give a shot at that, Lolly, if you want to go and try to hack and roll nearby.
I mean, you know what? There is no harm in trying to. Like, worst case scenario, oh no, I don't gain extra info. Like,
And while she does that, I think Becky's gonna just try to peek down the other hallway that none of them explored yet, just to be like, okay, is there any way forward from here?
Okay, yeah. Sure, make me an awareness check,
Okay.
and...
hang on, my computer's having a bit of a moment. What on earth is...
There we go.
What?
So a 15 from Bon.
Yeah, because the luck dice was 2.
Mm-hmm. Did you roll your shot of tomorrow roll?
I did, and unfortunately I did a nat 1.
Yeah,
3 times. Yay! So I guess if I have to go against anybody, that might work.
Wait, you rolled a nat 1 3 times in a row?
Oh no, it was a nat 1, and then and you roll your d4 to see how many times you can use it, and it was.
Oh, so you can use a 1
3
once.
times.
Oh, 3 times?
Yeah.
Okay, that's hilarious.
Good job with that.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Look, she's learning.
Alright.
Apologies, I'm just having a bit of a...
You're good.
No worries.
Why? Why have you done that?
And I think I only just now noticed the mushrooms on your chair. That's adorable.
Oh, it's one of my many blankets.
I love it.
Many blankets.
There's only like 7 in this room.
It looks like Paul has a blanket right there.
No, that's a
just turn
Udi. That's
around.
an Udi.
How many
Yep.
blankets
There's
did we
at
see?
least 3 in there too.
Yeah, I checked my background before I started complaining about blankets in other people's rooms. Don't worry.
Apologies. My clever character sheet is just having an absolute...
This gun that I have, that I borrowed from a drone, that may or may not be a plant.
Yes.
Is it fireable by my hands, or does it have a trigger? Is what I'm asking.
It's so it does actually have a trigger. So the way that these drones mounted these guns is it literally has like a little Omni port at the bottom that's just like a simple manipulator that locks onto it and then manually fires the trigger. So like it once you broke it free of its housing, it pretty much is just the standard gun. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Nice.
Which, as we mentioned before, the gun, which I will see about bringing the notes of that up. I actually think that's currently in the loot pool. Yeah, it's currently in your Legacy First Flight loot pool, which is down at Salvage Ranged Weapons. And at the very bottom, it's actually Verde Market. There we go. So it's on page 7. It's the Hailstone submachine gun. You guys have access to that thing now, in its current state.
No, not you guys. Me.
Actually, there was at least 4 drones you guys were fighting. So that means each of them had a hailstone underneath. So there's like scattered around here. I'm willing to say, considering like 2 of them actually blew up. Like,
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think
blew
we have
up.
access to all 4.
I'll roll a d4. How about we do it that way? I'll be fair. How many we got? 2. That was exactly what I was going to give you standing there arbitrarily, so there we go.
Good job, Dice.
So there are 2 of the Camino refit Hailstone submachine guns just lying around on the ground. There's chunks of other ones all over the place. So, yeah. As far as what you got an 11 before modifier, Zenith? What was your modifier for hacking?
Yep, so my modifier for hacking is a 5.
16.
And if I can argue it, espionage?
Sure. So that's
That's another 2.
Okay, so that's an 18, and don't forget you also have a hacking module So you do get to roll that as well. It's basically just a die-based modifier. So.
Yeah, we went over this last time that you're fantastic at this.
Basically, the core rules of Legacy are if you have either negotiation or hacking, you basically just get weapon dice on, like, specific rolls. So, in this case, negotiators get weapon dice for talking, and hackers get it for hacking.
Because that is logical. Yeah.
Yeah.
Me, words, talk, good.
You're good.
Is what I'm doing technically classed as an intrusion thing?
Yes, it absolutely is if you're using an intrusion software program. So, yes. I would dare say trying to access a network discreetly would qualify as intrusion.
Marvelous, in which case I can add a D8 instead of a D6. Just wanted to check.
Yeah, no worries. And it explodes.
Nice.
It does count as a weapon die, so it can explode.
Okay. And then a 1.
It's a 9.
That's how it goes.
There
But
we
that's
go.
9 on top of 18, so it's numbers. Yeah.
Yes.
27. So
That one.
pretty good. So a 27 for your hacking roll, and for Bon, you got a 15 after your
The
modifier.
water
Yeah, just to
pressure
look
is
down the other
spot on.
hallway.
Don't.
So, Becky, from your perspective, what you can see is that you actually can't see really like a way forward per se, but from your angle, what you do see is how confusing and labyrinthian this building was built as. I mentioned it before in the last session, but there's a purpose to it, and you can see that very clearly now.
Also patterns.
Exactly. If anyone here has ever watched the movie Inception, then you remember things like the Penrose steps, where like you have these paradoxes designed to trick people and keep people trapped in the dream. This is a structure built like that in reality, not with paradoxical architecture, but instead designed to intentionally be confusing and misleading. So, in case of an emergency, people could literally run through these corridors, and if they know the patterns, it becomes like a labyrinth. You can actually get stuck in circular corridors that are designed to look nondescript, or go down like stair sets that actually circle back around immediately, and can let people keep going down stairwells.
So like in The Expanse, where they had they were underground trying to escape the city.
Yes, exactly. It's literally the entire place is designed to be disorienting. So, Becky, you're pretty confident that just observing it now, you could move through a place like this and at least be able to figure out a path without getting lost. If you go too far and too quickly, like if you guys start sprinting for like several minutes, I'd make you roll again.
Okay.
But given the current state of the building and the way you sort of figured it out, now you've got a little bit ahead with the Torre, and now with what you can see looking at the hallways, you're starting to see repeating patterns and structures. So like, you're pretty confident you could guide people through the building if you wanted. Now, Zenith, on the other hand. Remember the way I said there was a chance that you might just access like a water pressure system and get completely screwed? Good news, with a roll that high, that is not what happened.
Yay!
Instead, you actually managed to access what would be considered a grid connection system. So basically, a system that's designed to connect multiple systems together. And as a result, even though it's isolated on the network, it can detect what other systems would be doing normally through a hardline connection. So even with the systems down, you can get some basic details. So you rolled, and I get to now at this point make like an actual D6 roll from the system, or in this case a D8, to see how well it resists. That's a natural 1. So
Do not resist me!
yeah. That means that when I compare it to the chart, which I have in my head, but it's pretty accurate, it's basically the multiples of how many times over you succeed. Basically, you own the system, which means that you literally can do anything you want within its programming, and technically, even beyond it, you can make it do shit it wasn't designed to do. So, I'm going to give you a total of 4 asks of this system. You can, whatever they are, I can provide it to you. I know one of them you said you wanted like a map of the building.
At least the upper floors, yeah.
Well, I'm asking now, Zenith.
Yeah.
Zenith, what did you
Oh,
want?
yeah, just
Apologies,
what she
my
said.
attention was being taken off me.
You're good.
Sorry. next door are yelling a lot, and it's unsettling me, which is sorry. It's
No, it's okay. I feel you. I've had that happen too. And the unfun part of like living in a neighborhood where someone down the street's just like, I'm gonna just scream now, and you're like, okay.
Despite trauma, I'm gonna have to put in both ears because that's too distracting. So
That is fair.
apologies. You gave me an option for things. My brain didn't take those in.
No worries. You managed to succeed so hard, you get to ask the system 4 questions. You get 4 asks of it. So, one of them was a map, as I recall. How much did you want that map to be? Like, how expansive? Give me the details.
Honestly, she's gonna want as much detail out of it as she can get. Like, definitely the layer they're on and details of further layers. The theory being she can get all those. Era doesn't need to know about the other ones. Those can be for me. You can know about these ones.
You get a true map of the facility then. In terms of your roll is literally 13 temp. It's actually no, 28. No, 20. No, 28. 28 times higher than it rolled. So legitimately insane. You have a true map of the facility. You managed to actually gain access to a hard-coded map of it. You realize that the blueprints this building has on record are inaccurate to the actual map. They built this thing and then afterwards modified it, and didn't update the original blueprints, specifically to avoid people like you getting access to it. And then you own the building anyway, so who gives a damn? This building at first seems like it's maybe 2 to 3 floors, like technically 4 floors because there's a second sub-basement listed for like, mostly it's all like layered off as like pipework and reactor access. So like, you have the top floor, which is where you guys are with the garden and the upper ring. The floor immediately below, which is considered like floor 1, so technically you guys are on floor 2. Then you have, at the bottom, sub-basement 1, which is designed for, well, storage, random shit, everything. And then below that, you have sub-basement 2, which is entirely, purely designed to be like, just machinery. There's no storage down there. Technically, it does show that there's access points, but they're like repair access points. They're not designed to go further than that. At least that's what the blueprints say. There's a further 3 floors below it. One of them is listed as completely empty. And apparently that's designed to be just sort of a expansion floor. From what you can tell, just like your brief ability to access sensors there, to see the sensor sweep, it really is empty. And in fact, completely unfurnished. It's like a solid concrete slab with nothing on it. And it's been designed to be sort of a false bottom, as it were, to the building. Like, oh, they had another thing they were going to build, but they didn't finish it.
Fake bot of you.
Yeah. Now, below that, there's a space of like 40 feet deeper into the ground of nothing. Like just solid rock. And below that, there's 2 more floors. The floor below that, and those 2 floors, you can't access cameras at all. What you can see, though, is that there is habitation systems down there that allow people to breathe and move. And ostensibly, there's lighting and plumbing, because you're getting, like, pings from all those systems through this map. And below even that, there's 1 more floor. That floor connects to what appears to be a Sally Forth point. Now, that basically means this thing has a sub-basement that like goes down, so it's like a giant cake almost, sort of like with layers. But the bottom part is like a platter that goes out beyond the edge of the cake. And there's like this weird one, like large tunnel that goes off of it. And it's big. Big enough for Louie's mech to fit in even. It goes all the way out, a good like half a kilometer. And then it comes back up to the surface through a hidden garage that appears to be completely buried. It's like not ever been accessed. Once it was made, they just covered it completely. And the idea is when it opens, it's revealed. They would have to completely reconceal it again. So, but it has a lift there, and the lift is rated to be able to hold mechs. and like heavy industrial equipment. So that's all you know. So you have a total of 4 known structures, 3 subfloors. And one of them is a decoy, and the bottom 2 are where something is happening and you have no idea what it is, because there is no camera access at all, or sensor access down there beyond basic systems. Which, you know, again, congratulations, you tapped into a thing designed to monitor basic systems. There's all your deets. You still have 3 asks.
Then. Not much then. Awesome. Okay. Okie doke.
Are we, Zenith, are we able to ask it exactly what happened before the internet went down? Like, what was it doing?
That was just what I was thinking. Like, if it can give me any information about what happened just prior to everything, like any anomalies, anything going on, anything breaking from its usual.
Did someone go on a funky site, that sort of thing?
Yeah. Okay.
Something like that, but not those words.
Okay. So, given that, this thing does have access to camera systems. All the ones for, like, the above floors. As well as also, like, meteorological stuff, that sort of thing. So I'm going to let you access, with each of these asks, I will let you access 2 systems each. I'm going to give you a list. So, cameras. This would be like structural cameras all across the top 4, these floors, the 4 floors that have cameras on them, basically. And technically sub-basement 2. I guess sub-basement 2 qualifies. It's just, you know, it's empty though. So, that's 1. You have camera systems. 2, audio systems. This place does in fact have a series of simple like mics around it and stuff. They're not really made for like spying, they're really made more for like scientific research and stuff, but they're pretty universal across the area. So, you can access mics. 3, meteorological systems. These things are also designed to track incoming spaceships and landing craft, so you can theoretically access the airspace. And then 4, and the final one, would be, I believe the proper term for this would be fire control. So fire control would access the turrets that this place has connected to it. The same turrets that you guys were told not to approach your spaceship with, even though it didn't fire. So, those are your 4 options. Turret control or fire control systems, cameras, mics, meteorological / aircraft control.
So, obviously, this is being communicated. I feel like number 3 is kind of an absolute yes.
Okay.
That meteorological one is a definite one.
I like mics as well.
Mics over cameras, do you think?
Oh yeah, because like you can see people, but you can't hear what they're doing. Whereas people might say what they're doing.
Yeah, they might say something revealing.
You might say, "Hey, this is all on me, and my name is this, and my address is this, and my social security is this."
Okay, not everyone is going to do an Odysseus of Ithaca all the time. Okay, you can't just wait on that.
Ah.
Omni, do I have to decide both now, or can I access one and then decide on the second?
You can access 2 at a time. So theoretically, you still have 3 asks left, and each of these asks is 2 systems. So if you access all of them, you'd use 2 asks. You'd have 1 left afterward. But if you want, you could just do 1 ask and choose 2 systems simultaneously to use.
Oh, so we could do like visuals and mics at the same time.
If I can work my way. Okay. In which case, I'll take meteorological and audio. We'll go with those for now, and if we decide that we would like more, then we can go from there. Or see if these give us something that gives a different question.
Okay.
Good idea.
So, meteorological and audio. Alright. So, there is a long period of effectively no real activity. It's like a little bit of background. So we'll start with the mics and the meteorological. We'll do it at the same time. So there's the immediate stuff you guys just went through. Like the past couple of hours, obviously, the mics and meteorological detect a fair bit. Meteorological detects you guys' approach craft, It detects the approach craft of the common oceans and also of the JSA sort of clients. They're landing. That's the only flag that it's detected aerospace-wise for the past 7 hours or so. And as for mics, literally up to the moment where you guys are speaking, it's currently recording. But before that, even, there wasn't that much. There's like a little bit of mic picking here and there, going back probably about 12 hours, which appears to be the arrival of the drones and the drone controller. But it's all like background audio noise, footsteps, scuffling, the sounds of their magnetic levitation systems. It's not particularly loud. And that's just pretty benign behavior. There's no gunfire at any of that point. So whatever they were arriving and doing here was pretty subtle and pretty quiet. A week ago, though, is where real activity starts happening. Mike kicks on first. So at this point, lots of activity. Hustle and bustle. The colony seems to be doing its normal thing. You can hear the sounds of, like, people chatting, just doing normal stuff. The sound of machinery in the lower like levels, stuff like that. Normal colony activity. Then there's a very loud Doppler sonic boom, which the mics register as having to be several kilometers away, significantly further at very least. It seems like it just can't estimate further than 5 kilometers out that level of sound, and it's very loud. At the same time, meteorological and air traffic control both fling on at the same time. One ship jumps out of low orbit into upper atmosphere. Ship is unknown. Ship is not flying any friend or foe tags that would identify it to any faction that anyone's particularly aware of. So no Union, no Common Ocean, no nothing. There's a lot of confusion at the time. Some people say it's possible it might be a Common Ocean ship or a Corsair ship, because those don't fly friend or foe tags either. But then another couple of ships pop into orbit with another set of Doppler booms. And the conversation goes from, maybe these are some Corsairs that are doing something weird, to, this is not fucking right. Corsairs would have reached out to us by now. Nothing. Very quickly, the ships begin to descend, and fire control automatically takes over and starts firing at them without any friend or foe tag. The gun battle goes for about 20 minutes. It splashes a couple of incoming dropships, and then the entirety of the fire control system and meteorological system shuts down. They have no idea what caused it. Mics are still live, and the entirety of the command staff of this place are panicking. They have no clue why their systems have gone offline. But then one of them notices the incoming craft are also no longer moving. Like, they all suddenly stop. And they have no idea what the hell is going on. They say reboot the system. They try. FCS flicks on again. It does function, but it can't lock on to anything. Which at first they think that's weird, maybe they're being jammed, and then they realize it's because they're getting error messages where the system is basically reading as online, but no data. So for some reason at this point the network has gone down. They attempt to reach out to other colonies at this point on the planet. No comm chatter. They realize at this point that their long-range comms have gone down. Quantum entanglement has gone down. The prism has gone down at this point. You hear at least 2 researchers say that shouldn't be fucking possible. The prism can't go down. It's quantum entanglement. That's not how that shit works. And they say, it's still not getting any messages. Quantum entanglement is down. The prism is down. All our comms are down.
They froze time.
The ships slowly begin to descend. They begin panicking. One of them tries to manually control one of the turrets. They can't access it because it's on a quantum entanglement network, and all of those are down. They access hardline. They get control of it briefly. But they don't have the ability to lock on. It's not reading proper sensors from the meteorological system, so they have to eyeball it. They splash one more lander. And then at that point, they're below the tree line. Given what meteorological says, and again, this is where you start getting into that, if you didn't roll so ludicrously high, I'd give you some more rolls, but you rolled really stupid high. There's a reason they couldn't lock onto it. Meteorological was detecting them, but it refused to sync targeting systems to it, because again, complicated networks that rely on quantum entanglement. So, given what you saw, there was at least 500 landing craft that landed within about 200 kilometers of this location. Each of them roughly the size of the ones you guys arrived on. You don't know about what was on it. You don't know all the equipment that or anything on that. You can also guesstimate, given what you learned, the size of the ships that appeared in orbit were frigates. The kind of thing that had at least 500 to 1,000 personnel on it each. These would be considered capital ship class craft. These are designed as warships. Their silhouette very clearly matches a warship silhouette, but no make or model you're aware of.
Awesome. I'm going to relay all that.
Yeah.
There is a
2
period...
minutes to just...
No, could you actually just say that all again, Lolly, please? Just so,
I can go through the notes I've literally just scrolled down.
There is one final piece of information that I figure I'll let you know. Right after all this shit happens and the landers happen, you hear an older voice come over the comm. And he says he is instigating evacuation protocols. He's telling everyone to go to ground. You know where to go. And then he cuts the mic system off manually.
No.
The system completely disappears off of the grid for 5 hours. And then it flicks on, and there's fucking nothing for 6 days until those guys with the drones show up and trigger the audio systems again. Other than that, up until that point, it's just the rustling of leaves, the odd chirp of, like, birds and squirrels and shit rolling by.
oh, the birds are okay. Okay, cool.
Bird.
Zenith, cool. Can we find out what the evacuation process is? Like, it says, like the dude says, the old dude, says, everyone knows where to go. Well, we don't, so he lied.
I think he means the people who live here.
That makes more sense.
Becky's keeping an eye on Ara, just like,
He's still at the top right now.
But honestly, I'm kind of surprised, like, Amaya's going this long. I thought she and Usko would be finished by now, but no, they're going for 7 minutes of heaven my ass. It's been like, woo, at least.
Some minutes of what? No, never mind. I don't know. I don't want to know.
Oh, you don't understand? So
I don't want to know. I don't want to know. just like, no.
Don't mind me.
Right. I can try and access the cameras or the fire control, but do you feel that would be necessary, given what the information we've gained already?
No, I feel like the visuals would just reaffirm what we heard. Like, great, we can, unless you want to watch where a bunch of people go. But I don't know how far down you can access cameras. I know there's a bunch of floors. And there's one on the very bottom where you can't access cameras, so...
Could try and see, because at least that might give us an idea of the entry points.
Well, we have a really good map, don't we? Surely that has entry points on it.
Well, yes, but it's not marked secret passageway here, guys. Exit route. Like, that's not on the map, funnily enough.
no, but we might be able to deduce based on the layout.
Yeah, if it's like, staff members only or something.
Looks at map, which I imagine a building this complicated. It has lots of staff only. And it's like, that's not as informative as you might think,
So we can either, yes, check the cameras to see where people go, or we could just see if there's like a document that says evacuation process, read below.
Okay, so I have I've got two asks left technically, yeah?
Yeah.
So, again, we could do both of these things.
Mm-hmm.
We
Yeah,
could.
absolutely. Yeah.
Is it worth me doing cameras and fire control and then having my final option for an ask of whatever we think would be most useful, having combined all the things.
Yeah, if you want
Cameras!
Cameras.
Yeah, I'm not gonna advise you on whether it's a good call or not, but it certainly is an option. Absolutely. And you would still have an ask afterwards. So if you turn those on, you would have the full picture.
Well, I mean, I could use a thing that I've never used before, and I hope I'm using correctly. Because I technically have got the character trait of the Eyes of Eternity.
Eyes of Eternity. Hold on, let me open that up. Oh my god, yes, I forgot. You actually are an anazali. Oh, yes, you absolutely... Okay. Alright. So, for those of you who don't know...
I actually can say, Omni, advise me!
Yes. So, anazali have interesting abilities. They have literally, like, different things where they can access, like... Basically, they can access these abilities. And so, yeah, that's the Ask the Storyteller. And by the way, Eyes of Eternity, the current name of it has been revised, is Cosmic Instrumentalist Gene Sculpt. So you are an Instrumentalist Gene Sculpt. So, same thing. Your character, you can ask the storyteller for advice twice per session instead of once if you have that feat, or I think your base thing, Eyes of Eternity is the... Wait, sorry. Eyes of Eternity is the species thing. You didn't take the feat, you have the ability basically. Okay.
Yeah.
Alright. You absolutely can. So, if you use, like, I personally, as you're asking the storyteller, you feel that it can only be helpful to see what happened, to access all those systems in tandem. It can only give you a fuller, more complete image. And that would definitely help. And having one final ask is probably all you'll need. At least from the shape of the way the situation is coming. You've been in situations like this before, and sometimes you have all you need already. So, getting it all together can't hurt.
So cameras, please. Yes.
Cameras, me.
Alright, so, you're going to sync all the systems together at this point and access all 4 of them. So, everything I just said happens exactly like it was described. Except now, you can see things in more detail. A week ago, you could see just how many people were in this building. There was well over, and then I'm going to actually check my notes to make sure I'm not eyeballing this incorrectly. So, that number is not correct. Oh, that's the potential, not the current. Jesus. All right. I was like, there's no way there's 400 million settlers here. No, that's the whole planet. The planet is rated as potentially being able to support 400 million settlers. At the moment, there's less than 100,000 settlers. So, at the moment, though, this settlement itself was registered to 14,750 people. So, actively occupying Recalore and the building here. And so, you get to actually see what this place looked like when it was active. The hallways filled with people, children, old folks, trading, having fun, relaxing.
And then the Fire Nation attacked.
Kinda, yeah. As you're watching, you see the sonic boom happen on the mics. You can see the ping on the meteorology. And you can see everyone out in the garden immediately all just, like, rock downward. Some put their hands on their ears or cover their auditory processing, like, organs. Because, you know, like, have antennas, so they, like, cover their antenna. And they all just, like, slowly look up. And there's, like, just mass horror right across all of them. At, like, the appearance of, like, you know, a ship visibly in low orbit for them. Which is very weird for them. You hear a couple of people, like, going, like, maybe it's some, you know, maybe it's some of the traders, maybe it's Corsairs, who knows? And then, like, another one and another one. And it goes from people watching in horror to people beginning to run. And beginning to run into the buildings.
That definitely just Becky, just like...
Yeah, and it's a lot of what follows immediately. You can see inside of the command center of the building and the upper floor where these sort of things are going. It's like a very simple back room, a couple of cameras, nothing too crazy. It's not that different from any other colonial outpost you've ever been in, where they have, like, security room, and that's pretty much what this is. And you can see the actual leader of the settlement, Sylph Edu Merkans, older for sure than most other Sylph you've seen. He has to be pushing like, oh god, I think Edu's currently like sitting in his 60s. No, he's 51. He's 51.
His aesthetics, though. His aesthetics.
He does have a pretty good aesthetic. You can see Edu, like, is the one who's actually giving the orders from what you hear. Old, but steadfast, and tends to be pretty, like, direct in what he needs. The crew respond pretty quickly, and again, everything plays out exactly like you see on meteorology, but now you actually can see the shapes of the ships. Visually see the shapes of the ships as the cameras look upwards and see them. They are almost like daggers. Long and sharp with solid black shapes. From below, in a way, they almost look like spearheads. Very angular, very sharp. Make me, on your end, just a general intelligence roll, add a 6 to that. So your intellect roll. No other modifiers will be added to this. Okay, so plus 6.
Hang on, I'm just checking my did my luck roll as well. So
Yep,
I'll
you
go
do.
with 7. Yep.
7 plus 6, you're looking at a total of 13. That's more than enough. The silhouettes on those ships are familiar, but not quite the same as anazali craft. You're pretty confident that somebody took a look at Anazali's ships and might have made their own versions of them. Whether they use the same technology, you're not sure, but that silhouette looks a lot like the Anazali Imperial's old warship fleets used to look like.
I mean, it looks like warship anyway when it's sharp and dagger.
Yep. You also can see with the cameras, and now with a better view and access to meteorology, there was some interference before. 3 ships was not the total. It was 5. 2 of those other ships were in low orbit that were outside of atmosphere and not captured by the sensors as well. One of them was the same size as the other 3, all frigate. But there was one much bigger. That ship would be categorized as a carrier. 4 kilometers in length. That has a staff of well over 3,000 people.
And we didn't see anyone get taken, right, on the cameras?
Not at the moment, no. So, as the cameras progress, you see the turrets fire upwards, you see a swarm of dropships fall out of orbit, literally hundreds. Many of them get shot down, many more get pie. And then there's a flash. It's very bright. Like pure white. It completely fills the sky. And it completely, all the cameras immediately bloom white. And they don't come back on for a bit. And you hear that's when they go like, what the hell happened? For some reason, nothing's working. Wait, the ships aren't descending. All this while the cameras are still in pitch white. And then they go, reboot the system. We'll try it again. They do. The cameras flip back on again. And you can see that the atmosphere has changed color. Before, you didn't notice it before. Like, it was very subtle. But it was a little bluer before this. And now it's slightly tinged green. And you can see that the ships aren't descending. And they all sort of, like, look a little at each other and sort of shrug. They say the prism is down. All this persists. The ships begin landing. They take control fire at some of these things. They continue to land. No communications. And then you flip to a bit of chaos happening, and people are like running back and forth. And then it clips from that to Edu on the camera going, we're going through evacuation protocol. You know what to do. Mic going off. Cameras going off. But right before the cameras go off, as they all hear the words evacuation protocol, they all begin to, the few that are still out there, and there's a couple security personnel, common oceans wearing like cloaks and armor, who are wearing like, you know, a decent amount of like pretty clearly salvaged combat gear and carrying heavier weapons. They all begin to run out of the garden towards the outer walls. And the few personnel that are still there begin to run towards the outer walls and the interior of the building into those corridors Bond looked at. And before they get any further than that, cameras all completely flick off. Flick back on again 4 hours later. Quiet as the grave. Mic turns on quiet as the grave. and it's like they're all gone.
Mary Celeste territory again then.
Yep.
What could possibly warrant such a strong response? Like, Becky's just, like, she says that out loud, just kind of, like, exasperated. Like, what on earth?
The Imperial were not delightful first time round.
Laura, you muted, my love.
No, I'm not.
No, she's not.
Oh, no, I've muted you, my love.
Wow.
Oops.
So,
Apologies.
you were saying, Zenith.
Yeah, the Imperial were not great first time round.
Yeah, but these are just...
2.0 is not what we want.
Oh. Becky puts two and two together, like, oh. But still, they're settlers. They're isolationists. I didn't see anything incredibly advanced. Did they build a weapon of some kind that they want? Because those were warships, clearly. Like, I think she's gonna assume, based on, like, the way
No,
they
but
entered...
some of this isolated is... It's hard to isolate an apartment in an apartment block in a city. It's much easier to isolate the village out in the middle of the hills that nobody sees.
Now, there is one other final detail I'll let you know.
Yes?
So, this is based on the fact that you have access to meteorology, all that. And now with cameras, now that meteorology is not really picking up ships properly, that's why you didn't really see anything after that. What you can see, however, is through the cameras, including the small observational camera they have. They have like one that's for stargazing, which is where they saw these ships from. You can actually see that those 5 ships leave after about 2 days. Like, all 5 of the large starships, you can at least tell that, like, they go into upper orbit, and then there's a flash, 4 flashes, and then 4 of them are gone, and then the other 4th one engages its engines, which you can see from the engine bloom, the brightness at the end of the ship, and then it just slowly travels out of the camera's view. But none of them are currently orbiting over the settlement, or within its line of sight of the sky, because you can't see it on the cameras after that.
I mean, I'd like to think that we are observant enough that if we had arrived, we would have, like, when we all first approached the atmosphere, we would have noticed if they'd still been here.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
I wasn't really looking around. There might have been.
Just in the swamp.
Starships are not small. Even your relatively shitty cargo hauler you guys have been using as your base.
Whoa.
Buddy, let's be real. You guys,
We got a junker.
you got a junker for free. It's not a bad thing, but I would never say my old 2001 Toyota Corolla was, a luxury car, alright? It's doing its job. Even your ship is a half a kilometer long. Like a half a kilometer to 3 kilometers, so like 3/4
That's
of
what
a
I mean,
kilometer.
like, that bit where we were kind of stopping everyone murderizing each other out in orbit, like, we, as much as we were distracted by each other, I'm sure we would have spotted if these
Someone
things were
would
still
have,
around.
yeah.
So, like, they've left.
Could you go around that 4 kilometer long weird objects that's in the way? Don't look at it, just go around it.
Yeah.
That's probably nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, so.
Yeah, you guys would have
okay.
seen that. Likewise, Lolly, now that you have the cameras, you also see, at this point, the JSA ship, your ship, and the Common Ocean ship all arrive.
Arrivals, all that.
And,
Flashes.
yeah, exactly. And roughly around the same times that you're pretty confident these are. Yeah.
Guys, a thought. So I've got one more ask left. So you've got either what is the evac protocols, which I'm not convinced is our most pressing issue, especially as Attore has piddled off somewhere, so clearly knows vaguely what's going on.
He's with a Maya.
Well, yeah, him and Maya, like, they're off looking for people, so he clearly knows stuff. Maya's just like, yes! Don't get distracted, you'll forget what you're going to say, and it's important. Hold the information in your brain. No!
It's okay. So the important ask...
That was my bad.
You tentacles. Is it worth trying to see if anyone is still accessing any of these systems, like the cameras? Anyone keeping half an eye periscope style of what else is going on now?
Well, They all evacuated 7 days ago, and the ships left 5 days ago. If anyone was slacks in the cameras, they would have seen 5 days worth of nothingness until that drone dude arrived. I would like to think they'd be like, after the 3rd day, maybe we could go upstairs.
No, but my theory being that they're looking. Are they looking right now?
Oh.
Have they seen us turn up?
Yeah, go ahead, do it, please. I'd like to know if somebody's watching us.
What do we think? Just because this is my last one, and I don't want to.
Why would they be watching now? What's happening?
Because if they're accessing the system will have gone ping pong. More people are happening. There is guns going off. Like it would have.
I mean, you can. I just don't understand why people would care to be watching now versus the last 5 days of nothingness.
Because
the nothingness is what they're waiting for.
Because we have leads, so they could just follow us to wherever the others are.
So
okay, so you're worried that somebody else is watching. I was worried.
Okay, yeah. So I think we've both come out of different angles because I'm with where Paul was at, where I was talking about the people who are hiding.
The civilization.
Oh, gotcha, okay.
And you're saying, is anyone else looking in? Both. I mean, if I phrase it right, I could possibly get away with asking. Like, is anybody else?
I mean, at this rate, I could just strip naked and see if anyone makes a comment.
By you, I mean Zenith. Zenith, you know that a system like this usually has some sort of access log. You theoretically could find out if anyone's currently accessing it at the moment. It would show up as a access file, file accessed time now, and it would be like ongoing.
Historical as well?
Steven is currently logged in.
Yes, theoretically you could also historically go back and check the logs. So it's not the same as like an online it's not like a true sensor feed. It's more like just a list of whoever's accessed.
No, I'm not. I'm not thinking to do it as a term of like trace it back to a location. That's not what I'm thinking. I'm thinking just like see who has been looking, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. No, I know exactly what you mean. Yes, you would be able to. If you choose. It is your call at this moment. You have one final ask. I'll let you do it.
Yep.
If you want. Whatever.
I'm terrified of asking for the wrong thing, or like not putting together the thing that you're there going, it's this, it's this,
right,
it's this.
The story, you're like, I'm trying to take the hook.
Remember so at this point, because you already did it once per scene, you get the guidance for the scene. The shapes of these moments repeat through history. It's the big advantage anazali have more than anything. Some say wisdom comes from time. That's not necessarily true. But you do see the patterns. And the shape of this moment, the sound of it, you recognize it. It's probably not a bad ask.
Yes!
I'm very pleased you said that last sentence, because everything up until that point, I was like, Omni, that's Vegas took. Like,
that's because I'm basically doing future sight.
No, it's okay. What you're putting down, I'm going, yes. Pick it up. That up.
Okay.
It's whimsical, Paul. Have some whimsy. It's space whimsy.
Okay, yeah, the ethereal voice inside all our heads has said yes. That's a really good answer.
Well, I think the theory that I look at with this particular trait feature, this particular thing is, you know when you get deja vu, especially as you get older. Well, this girl is over 2,000 years old. She's had a lot of time to have a lot of deja vu that gets smushed together over time.
That's an excellent way to describe it. Yes. So, Zenith, this is entirely you. You feel that it's a good move.
Access logs.
Okay. So, log access. Riot of access back during the day when everything happens and before that. Obviously. After that, it goes dead quiet for a while. For about 4 hours, nothing. And then the cameras come back on, and there is a regular access. Once per day. Same time, every day. 8 p.m. local time. Relative, equivalent. Again, space, different species do different time records. So, but same thing every day. Until the drones arrive. Earlier today. New system access, then unidentified user, Comparing that with the camera logs and what you've seen, probably that guy. And the many different drones he's got accessing local accesses. He does not get nearly as far as you get access to, because everything's been splintered and shattered into a bunch of different systems. So...
And I'm just better.
Yeah, you
Pretty much, the most you can tell he gets seems to be like basic atmospheric readings, some simple sensor logs, nothing further than a day or two old, because all this deep access is buried under like miles and miles of coding access. He never quite got that far, but if he was there for another hour undisturbed, he might have. The drones were creating a hacking network altogether, so he was advising it. But now, at this exact moment, there are currently 3 accesses ongoing. Yours, one registered to no console you're aware of. It's not showing up on any of the 5 floors above ground. Or any of the 4 floors, but I guess technically the 5 floors if we're counting sub-basement 2, which is empty. So you don't know where to track that one. But there's a 3rd one. Directly above you at the top of the tower. On the meteorological access. And as you look up, you can see Araz looking down at you all. And we're going to take a brief pause so we can all go and get a potty break, because I need to go to the bathroom right from that moment. So,
Dang it.
so everybody, please go take a little moment, have a siesta. We'll be right back to continue the session for the last roughly about half an hour to hour we've got of it.
Yeah, just Amaya descending into
Amaya's
the
there
deep
just
dark.
squidging through some tunnels.
Yeah, I'm just going through the tunnels.
Play some music, just some like soft rock. Be like, I'm just chill.
Yeah.
Just
Right. I felt it was so funny. When when Bond said, "Oh, I'm glad that Amaya's going because of the claustrophobia," and then I'm thinking, man, this is like a dark, tight space. And then because Lolly had mentioned earlier about caving, I automatically thought of like underwater caves, and I'm like, oh, I feel like Amaya probably being an Oriname, this is probably like, it's normal Wednesday.
Yeah.
It's dark, it's
It's like-
cold.
It's underwater. It's tunnel. It's fine. Like,
Yeah.
what's your
We're
stress?
going underwater adventures.
Yeah, and
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
Considering Amaya is also squishy and malleable and can actually stretch her form, it's like, oh, who
Yeah.
cares? I can just back up if I don't like it.
Yeah, so that's why I'm just like,
Just,
It's like, oh, this is a bit tight.
yeah,
Yeah.
right,
Meanwhile, Becky would be like, oh, I'm gonna have a panic attack right now, please.
right. I will be back.
Yeah, I gotta.
So excited that I actually use the character trait. Well, I am alone. I could say terrible, terrible things all over the YouTubes. Wahahaha. I'm not going to, but I could. Ooh. Just actually checked in with the sounds, and the music is all nice and floaty. Sounds like I'm floating around in an empty space ball, which is fitting. Floaty, floaty. Oh, I'm just enough of an awkward bean that I feel the need to fill the silence. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Da, 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 da. And because I'm awkward, You immediately get the whole of the Mountain King in my brain, because that's a totally normal song to suddenly get in your head.
Do you want anything thrown up to you, my love?
Probably not. No, thank you, dear.
Cool.
I'm just sat talking to the emptiness on my own. Because obviously there's still sounds here on the YouTubes. So I'm just like, I'm going to just fill the silence with awkward chuntering, which will be really fun if Omni ever listens back to this. The two of you.
I always find it fascinating how different shirt is on the two different cameras.
Oh yeah, pink to red.
Yeah. Right, go get a snack.
Okay. La 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 la. Mossy! Mossy, hello! I see your emptiness responsiveness is
The emptiness speaks back. Hello, Mossy.
Yeah.
Good to see you, buddy.
Yeah, Omni, it's because I've been saying, like, I'm just going to talk to the emptiness of YouTube and just keep chuntering because I'm the only one here. So I'm just like, fill the space with random shite. So you're welcome when you listen back.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's always nice to have that happen. Where it's like, oh yes, my channel's in good hands. It's good to see you, Mossy. Much love.
Good hands?
Time?
Oh.
Yes. Let's be real, Lolly. You're excellent hands. Thank you. I dare think so. When it comes to this, don't take that out of context, YouTube. Don't be weird. Don't be weird about it.
Okay, so I actually wasn't being weird about it. Insofar as I was like, I don't know, I'm not considered very reliable in many ways, but okay.
Yes, I think you've been awesome. You've been an incredible member of both the team and also generally in every channel, everything I've seen you run with Paul. You've been an incredible asset. The number of times you've saved our streams when we're playing Blades has been incredible. So, thank you.
That's because your Blade streams are hysterical. And I honestly watched the clip back of Cal going, I've also summoned the plane.
I realized that was me, by the way. Like a doofus. The one, I can go all day, no planes coming overhead. One day I'm like, it's nice outside. I'm going to open the window. Plane. I'm like, and then he circles back over. What a dickhead. I don't even know why.
I've watched that clip so many times and I still cackle every time because I'm like, he was there.
Hey, I had no idea it was you because there's no way for me to tell because just sound comes through my ear. So I'm like, fuck is that?
Yeah, the second time that it happened, I realized it was me because off in the distance we have a small private airport. It's really tiny. Again,
I hate it.
White River Junction is not a big city. We have a total of at most, I think, it's 2,000 people in the unincorporated area around it, which is several miles beyond. Downtown, we might have 500 people, and that's really, really ballparking it high. More like we probably have 200 people most days. And most of those days, I can see no more than 2 to 3 of them out at any one time.
It can stand to be less.
I can literally go for a walk at around 1 p.m. and see nothing. It's like a scene from 28 Days Later. So, point is, small town. So that little airport's really far away. And it's only when the odd plane has flight instruction over the area or they're I don't know, picking up someone from further north. And so, yeah, just that day, just one prop plane just decided he was going to fly overhead, then fly back around again. And I was just like, come on, man. Why?
Helicopters, too.
True, but that was definitely a plane. I literally...
Oh, yeah, no, just I mean in general. And
yeah,
it's one of those, stop!
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, it was just funny.
I miss living somewhere that peaceful. I miss it, now, because we obviously live basically we're about a mile from the city centre. So we're still very much in a lot of the cityness. And so there's people everywhere all the time. And I miss living in the countryside where we used to live, where the nearest shop was 6 miles away.
Mm-hmm. Mood.
I miss that so much. My next door neighbours was just, here's some cows. Oh, it's the daily wonderpast of the sheep. There's chickens in my garden because the farmer does free range, so I have to be careful letting the dogs out in case we end up with chicken for dinner.
See, we're a railroad town, hence why it's White River Junction. So we have a couple of freight trains that come through. But it's only about twice, 3 times a day at the same time. The Amtrak comes through once at midday, once in the evening. And there's like the odd freight train that just comes through and connects in town and then leaves. But other than that, pretty fucking dead. It's not even like a loading train station. It's literally just like they pass through here. They might connect a car and then they're gone. So
I want to not see my neighbors though.
I know you don't. You want to live on Endor, sans murderous bears.
Yeah.
So
like, and I get that completely. So
like, yeah, where we used to live was like that, and it was glorious. Like, it was one of those ones off where I think I say it was a village. There was about 12 houses in a cluster on one street, and that was it. That's it.
Yep. One of these days, I'm just gonna go on like a stream on YouTube or Twitch with my phone and just walk White River Junction with everyone. Just be like, hey, this is where I live. This is how big it is. And you basically described it. There's like maybe, I want to say 12 to like 20 houses total in the immediate area, plus like
But
3
then it
apartments.
loops immediately into the city if you follow the straight path.
You call it a city. It's not a city. It's not at all a city. It's like a trailer stop. It's like a truck stop at most. Like in terms of what's up there. I love you. I'm from Central Florida. We are not the same. We're not built the same. You consider a city anything more than 50 people in a square mile. I consider it like it has to be hundreds and it has to be the infrastructure of it. So like...
Yeah, you see, that's what Paul and I like. I grew up, again, in a small little village. The nearest bus stop for any public transport was half a mile away. That was it. After 4 p.m, tough titties, you're not going anywhere. And that's what I grew up with. Paul grew up in the centre of Nottingham, where there's a bus every 6 minutes.
Yep.
And there's... So, like, our concept of what is and isn't a city is
should
so
be,
different.
alright? What do you mean there isn't a bus?
Fair.
How do people move?
Well, with that, I feel we can return back to the session. Thank you guys so much for keeping like the airspace here filled and like the airwaves. I appreciate it. And Mossy, I'm really glad you've been here the whole time. Love you, buddy. And also, I look forward to seeing more of you very soon. But that's a little asterisk for another day. I'm gonna drop that little tidbit there. So, let's pop away from where we were.
Loki, there's no space under me.
Back into stream as we resume Legacy
you said
First
Becky
Flight.
at first, and I was like, what?
Our faster than light tale in the world of tomorrow. So, with that, all our cameras are back on. Hold on. Boop, 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 boop. Beautiful. We're all good. Okay. Awesome. So.
Loki wants to be involved.
Aw, he's sweet.
Bumpers.
He's a bupper.
A baby.
So.
He's a baby.
JJ, we're gonna pop back to Amaya.
Yes.
Okay.
So, Amaya.
Good luck.
First off, as you're climbing down, like, the ladders are steep. They're very steep. This is not the kind of, like, ladder that's, like, publicly accessible. That's not its design feature. You know, there's, like, you can walk up large sets of stairs and flights and that kind of thing. And they have, like, that sort of... No. This is pure metal gantry where the bars are so narrow they cut into your feet when you put your full weight on them, and you know exactly what I mean, where the ladder's that thin. It's designed to be technically traversable, but not comfortable. And as you go down deeper, and you can see a Torre ahead of you, literally leading you down, like, winding passageways. Like, you'll go down one ladder, stop, get off the gantryway, walk around on this, like, thin little behind-the-wall area where there's a bunch of, like, electronics and the humming of big machines, huge ducts pumping heat and water through the area. Some that you debate whether you should be this close to some of them because they might actually hurt you if you get too close. But these are crawl spaces more than they are, like, actual hallways. So, like, down a ladder, over a ductwork, along this gantry, crouch down, walk through here, hey, look, another ladder. I wonder how I get down this. And you'd, like, this for, like, almost 15 to 20 minutes, going downstairs. You have, like, about 5 minutes just alone with a Torre, and all you see is your own headlamps on your suit, your environmental suit, and the flashlight he's holding ahead of you.
It's Minecraft.
It is, but a lot more industrial. So it's SCP Foundation without the monsters, basically.
Yeah, it's just a special Minecraft mod. It's fine.
So you have 5 minutes if you wish to say anything to a Torre, like, literally, no one else is here. There can't be anyone else here. That'd be weird if they were...
Just floating. T-pose.
Yeah, exactly. Just, you know, it's just you and the skeletons they paved into the walls, Cask of Amontillado style. Other than that, you're good.
I'm trying to figure out what would Amaya really be thinking, because I mean, I think going down this road, Amaya would just be kind of thinking about, okay, we're about to walk into this place with potential hostiles, and I'm having to figure out who, what, where. So I guess, yeah, I would ask him, like, do you have an inkling as to who exactly it is that we're meeting?
So, Torre turns around and gives you this look. It's not a bad look. It's just, you know, kind of a... There's like a little bit of a squint, and he goes, that depends who I'm talking to. If I'm talking to Amaya, Voyager, working for me, technically, or Amaya working as part of a joint collaboration with the JSA?
I think you're speaking to Amaya, a friend.
He mulls that over for a moment. I do feel you've earned a little trust. Not everyone's willing to play chicken in front of a warship. And you all did. So, there's that. Fair. You gave me your trust, I'll return it. I'm hoping we're going to find some members of the settlement. Whenever evacuation is called on settlements like these, we don't have singular places we hide. We go into many different locations. Some will leave the settlement, go to like external bunkers scattered around the woods. Only the settlement leaders and the personnel, armed personnel, might know where they are. Others go into fortified positions, closer to the base, some further away, in case something happens and it gets destroyed completely, and you need a relief force to arrive later. Either way, it's kind of fuzzy. I'm not sure whether we'll probably not find purely civilians this close to the structure. I don't think. If I'm being honest with you, it's kind of more likely that we're going to find some remnants of the security force. With luck, maybe you do. I'd like that. But I expect at least some security. Maybe a small portion of the civilians who are directly related to them. That's the hope.
Right. So, obviously, when we see them, they're going to be wary, cautious. How do you think would be the best way to go about gaining their trust in a fast or in a short amount of time?
I'm probably your best avenue for that. That's why I'm going with you. Ideally, if I could, if this were any other type of colony, I'd let you take point. Common Oceans are not a hostile people inherently. We're just cautious, and reasonably so. But you've all proven yourselves to at least be sympathetic to us. And so far, none of you have sold us out. So, as long as that keeps going, you can make your own introductions. But Desperandi, on the other hand, barely even tolerate other Common Oceans. So, I'll do my best to speak for you, but after that point, comes down to the settlement. Edu has a very checkered past with the JSA. He's done a lot. He's lived through a lot. So, don't pretend as though as if we're not working in part with the JSA. He'll detect that. Be blunt with him. lay it on the table. That's my best advice. If you try to lie or withhold truth, they'll identify it very quickly. And they'll lock you out.
Okay.
One final thing. Expect to have a gun pulled on you. That's just how it's going to be. They'll even pull one on me. And they know me. Edu knows me, and he'll still pull a gun on me. Just don't make them use it, and we'll be okay.
Noted.
At this point, you're getting past sub-basement 2, as I mentioned earlier, and you can see that, like, where you're at is actually behind a false concrete wall. On the other side, it would just look like normal concrete. But that's because it's basically a one-way mirror. It's actually a fiberglass facade, textured and colored on the exterior to look like the gray of the terrain around it. But as you move through, you can see your light kind of flickers through the fiberglass and like slightly illuminates the interior as a source of light from within reveals the deception. And it goes all the way along it. The interior of the thing is like, it's deep. It's like 30 to 40 feet in height. And the chamber itself is big enough to fit the entirety of the underside of this structure. So, considering this thing is like basically a square kilometer in terms of its size, it's a square kilometer cube, where the only thing you can see as far as the eye goes into the dark is just support columns and what appears to be polished concrete. Like, not even polished, just carved out concrete on an industrial scale. Where it's still that, like, rocky, kind of shitty, like, somebody just sort of chiseled it away, but, like, done and so at a level of, like, uniformity that's not possible by hands.
Right. It looks too professional.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You've seen unfinished houses and you've gone into the basement where it's like, oh yeah, something's gonna be here one day, but not yet. That's what this looks like.
Okay. Space mysticism.
Yeah. So, eventually, as you walk past that large empty chamber, Torre just kind of like turns and looks and sort of grins. I'm sure they were proud of that. As he keeps climbing downward. That will throw off damn near anybody. Fucking brilliant. Nothing better than having your own secret hidden room with nothing in it yet. Makes you look both incompetent and ambitious. Perfect combination for what they would want to be seen as. Eventually, you go below, and the ladder opens up into a large chamber. About the same height as the one you were in not but a few minutes earlier. You had to crawl through a small, dark tunnel with this shitty, metal, really uncomfortable ladder the whole time. You would have climbed down at least, it would have to be like 4 stories on this miserable metal ladder.
Right. Enough to hate ladders forever.
Yeah.
Yes.
Enough for your hands, like if you were human, your hands would probably be bruised from like the length you have to climb on this thing. Until eventually it opens in this large open chamber below. And down here, there is a minimal amount of lighting. It's a vast, vast chamber. Again, same size as the last one. And you can see what looks like a bunch of small prefab structures down here. All of them are pretty stock, straightforward. They look like they're just small rooms. A little bit like what appears to be limited plumbing. There's fans ventilating around down here. Somewhere this thing is getting exterior air because you can smell the air from the outside coming in. And there is along the large, mostly rounded off ceiling, you can see like illumination in the distance. Pale blue fluorescent lights. Not very powerful, but enough to at least fill the whole room with a chamber of soft blue gloom, almost like evening light, early evening light. And as you get down to the ground, eventually Torre jumps off, and you do too. You can see in the center there's a large circular, almost looking structure. It kind of looks like a frisbee, just laid down, made out of concrete, with a series of windows carved into it. And on one face, there's what looks like an angled garage door, currently closed. Pretty sure that's it. Like, I can't imagine it's anything else. First time being down this far, actually, for me. As you begin walking through the chamber, you can actually see that, like, the entirety of this place is... It is abandoned. Like, these smaller buildings, you can see they're each designed with, like, as you're walking by the windows, which are just open. There are no, like, interior, like, closing off parts. It's just, like, a hole where the windows are. You can see there's, like, a single cot in each one. Like, what appears to be kind of, like, simple lavatory, where they combine the shower, the toilet, and, like, bath. It's not even a bath, it's just, like, a shower and a toilet, basically. Into, like, one little cubicle. And what appears to be, like, a small kitchenette with water and a single hot plate in it. And, like, a singular lamp in the middle. Plus, like, a tiny door that opens to the outside. Like, these one-room sort of dealies. And they are everywhere. As far as you can see, they're everywhere down here. And none of them are occupied. All the lights are on. But they're completely empty.
Okay.
Eventually, you can get to the center. Make me an awareness check.
Oh boy. Okay. Mine is... Okay. +3.
Nice.
Adventure, let's see. I'm just trying to make sure I have the right dice that I'm using.
You're good. It's intellect plus a D and a D6.
Yeah. Okay. Let's roll this bad boy. Okay, not bad, not bad.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice. Alright. So, just looking around, the place is very dusty. Like, as you've been walking, and you've been kind of noticing it, it's like the ground is very sandy. And it's fine dirt, like ground stone for the most part. That kind of grit you get from, like, walking on... You've ever walked on, like, concrete or, like, pavement, but it's not been, like, tarmacked? It's just, like, the concrete underneath?
Yeah.
It sort of creates that grit just from, like, traversal. It's that everywhere.
Okay.
And, like, towards the area around in front of the door, you can see, like, there's a lot more of that grit. And there's what appears to have been, like, footsteps, like, footprints going in and out of different species. And even what looks like tracks at one point. Like, a wide pair of caterpillar tracks. Not, like, the size of a tank, but, like, some sort of small rover or vehicle. Not unlike the ones you guys had all the time over at when you were in your first world, Barreldyne, and you were at your settlement there. Like, same thing, they just use tracks instead of wheels, apparently. There are no lights from the exterior that you can see. And there is no pad to, like, buzz in. It's just the corrugated door.
Right.
You're like,
I feel like we're gonna step to the door and there's gonna be like a booby trap. Boom.
yeah. Just Indiana Jones it. Just get a whip out and be like...
Right. Right.
Well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Tori gives you a look and just... So, shall we say hello?
Yeah. After you.
Alright. And he takes his hand and sort of, it all locks together into almost like a spear-like point. Sort of digs it into the ground and hits the concrete. There's like a crunch as he pulls up what has to be like a good baseball, softball-sized hunk of concrete from the ground and just chucks it at the door from where you guys are standing about 30 feet away. And it sails through the ground, it sails through the air, hits the wall, there's this loud bang. And you know the sound of like a garage door that gets hit by something. And only this is a garage door that's like 30 feet wide. So it's much fucking louder, and it resonates through the whole area. And as it does, immediately in front of the door, you can see there's a flip of a panel, and a very clearly, like, over-bright flash in front of you, along that panel. And then the door flips closed again. And you can see now, a little more closely, after a very loud, very brief whoosh sound, that, like, there's scorch marks around the entrance of the door, and that there was some, like, clearly some kind of trap door hidden there. So that grit was, like, literally painted on, or, like, glued on to appear like it was natural. There's a brief pause, and then Tori goes, "Oh no, you burned us all to death. Can you open the door?" And there's like a brief pause, and from inside someone just shouts, "Who the hell is that?" And it's like another little like pause, and Tori just, "The most charming corsair in the sector, open the damn door." Another pause. And through one of, like, the windows, which is about eye level with you guys, the whole thing's no more than, like,
Little peephole.
Yeah, it's, like, no more than, like, a story and a half tall. You can see, like, a figure is silhouetted in there and sort of peers out. Rustling and conversation from inside. The door slowly lowers. And on the other side is a veritable array of common notions in war gear. At least, like, 15 different common notions of various gear. A fair few Shrike and brawling gear. You can see a couple of, like, bruisers with, like, heavy kind of, like, maces and industrial equipment. And a couple of other common notions wielding just, like, rifles and SMGs. But then, as they all sort of, like, slowly walk out, weapons brandished, some trained on you guys. You can see that, like, Ettore doesn't put his arms up. He just has them down to his sides. You don't feel particularly compelled to do the same. Eventually, a sylph walks out from the interior, old and using a cane. You can see it's almost like a brace on one of his forearms. Almost like a crutch, kind of, as he hobbles forward a little bit. "Well, Ettore, this is a surprise. Could have showed up a few days earlier, I would say." And Ettore just sort of looks at him. "Yeah, I imagine so, but the rifles always make me a little wary. Would you be so kind as to, you know..." And Idu sort of looks at him and then smiles. "You know, that's not how we work, right?" "Yeah, I get it, I know that's not how it's not how you work. It's fine. Allow me to make introductions. This is Amaya and Ahita, a Voyager Fire Team Forge Tender. They're here with me." And Idu slowly rounds his long sylvan head to look at you. Lumbers a little closer. "Amaya, the Voyager,
Yes.
Quick, do the jelly
Hello.
roll.
Do the. Be like, "Hello, yes. It's a pleasure to meet you."
Feelings likewise. Voyagers tend to be mercenaries, right? Sort of work within a region for whoever. So, Ettore says you're here with him. Can we trust that statement?
You can. But I will have to say that my presence here, I'm not here by myself. There are other members of my team who are up above. And there is also a member of the JSA who's also above.
Tell me, No other clients for this mission?
Clients.
I figure the JSA is one of them. And you're clearly here with the Torre, which tells me that the Corsairs have taken interest. No one else?
Above table. There's nobody else, right?
Above
table,
the
don't
people
think-
that attacked them, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't. I
No,
think it's just like we're here.
If I've got it right in my head, was it Ettore the one who messaged us said, "Could you come have a look,
Yeah,
please?"
literally.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
I'm
so
thinking-
Ettore asked us to look. We arrived, and JSA happened to also
Yeah, they
be.
just kind of
Yeah.
hidden.
About.
I'm not trying to commit any subterfuge. I just generally want to know the correct
fair.
answer to that question.
At the moment, you're under contract to the Combination Corsair, a Torre 238. Technically, you are working in tandem with the JSA,
but
but
that's
only through
okay.
circumstance. You have no
Yeah.
other current folks you're working with.
Okay. No. We are here because Ettore asked us to be here. The JSA just happened to coincidentally be here for their own reasons, and we just happen to be kind of working, I guess you could say, cooperatively. But as far as my presence here in this particular space, the JSA is not aware that I am here, that Ettore and I are here right now in this space.
Make me a negotiation roll. And you do also get, you can use your negotiator die. If you wanted to use any axioms, you could do that too.
What is it? Will. Okay, will. Plus. So it's a D8 plus 3.
Mm-hmm. And you still get your luck dice and all that.
And then. Oh, I can't see. Hold on, I got too many things open here. Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah.
I would like to reroll that.
You do have your luck die as well, don't
Oh, wait,
forget.
hold on. Yeah, let me do my luck die first.
and
Sorry.
modes.
But also, she has the ability to reroll a negotiation
Yeah,
roll as
yeah,
well,
yeah.
so.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna re-roll that because ooh.
Nice.
Hey, that's
Significantly
better.
less shitty. Correct.
Okay, yeah. I will take the 10.
Okay.
Nice.
You also have your negotiator's die,
Oh, I do negotiators die and I roll that. Oh,
which does
that's a six.
explode because it is a
Nice.
weapon die, so it also keeps going. Look at that.
Okay, so that's
That's a
10.
dirty 20.
Yep, so it's a 10 to a 20.
Let's go.
And this is where I'm going to ask if you wanted to use any axioms or anything before we
Axioms.
continue. You, I believe,
me
have
look.
accord as your primary one.
My doctrine. Yeah.
So you have friend of a friend, where you can increase the friendliness of an NPC by 1 step for the duration of the following encounter. Mutual self-interest, where you can get something as long as you're willing to give something. And I imagine you're not going to offer mercy as a circle or surrender because you're not in combat.
Right. Right.
Yeah, we're not trying to assault these people.
Yeah.
Punch him, you can surrender now.
In the favor or thing they ask their adversary for. Okay. I'm leaning a little bit more towards mutual self-interest. Because yeah, I think when engaging in a trade or negotiating with an adversary. Yeah. I guess I would use that one.
Okay. So if that's the case then, what's the trade and what are you offering?
Okay, so clearly they're down here for a reason. So I basically want to know, like, the information that I want to know is what happened that led them to be down here. Like, who, like, what are the details? Like, who, what, where, when, you know, what other kind of information can I gain from that? And then what they would be getting back from me. Oh, I don't know what they would be getting back from me except for my silence.
I did want to ask Amaya specific, like, I'm not here. I mean,
Yeah.
above table.
Yeah.
Because didn't we discover that it was likely they may have a traitor in their midst? Somebody on the inside who fed information out.
Well, that's the thing. Did you guys find that out while you guys were up there? Because then I
Nope,
wouldn't know
that
that.
would have
right?
been in the initial briefing.
Yeah,
That when you guys were up in
together.
in your briefing, some of the imagery you saw of some of the settlements showed like symbols spray painted onto the walls or like carved into the walls that were clearly of the Imperial Resurgent. So
Please do not just shout, "Hey, is anybody a traitor here?"
Yeah, no, but I mean that is something that you'd have to be like subtle about, but at the same time you'd be like, hey, that could be something to trade. I just didn't know if that was something like you remembered.
I did not remember that, actually. I thought that I must have just that in my brain, because I just thought that was something that happened like once they were attacked. Like I thought that was like an after, like you know how when people like go out and they like rebel and then they start just like tagging stuff.
Yeah.
Like that's what I thought that was.
Yeah.
That's what I thought that was. So okay, so there is a potential traitor in there, but we don't have any idea who the traitor is. We just know that there's a traitor.
We do have some implications based on, because the hacking of the wrist link that we got, the information, we do surmise, like kind of guess, that it's a sylph that was familiar with human, hold on, I have the thing here.
Okay.
I have the list.
Because I'm trying to figure out, like, how can I give the information to him in a way where he will, because like being like, oh well, you have a rat somewhere in here,
right?
I mean, I feel like he might already know that.
Yeah, so it was.
Yeah, we've got loads of rodents. What are you on about? Like we're on the
Yeah.
ground. There's spiders. There's rats. There's little mice.
I feel like he would know that, or at least suspect that. So if I could give him any more information to kind of lead him in the right direction, that would be beneficial.
Right, so the hacker, their username was logged to Sivari Horatio Verdine, which is an uncommon sylph last name, the Verdine part. The running theory was that it's a sylph who grew up in a colony with predominantly human conventions.
Okay, so sylph who grew up with human culture, basically.
Basically, yeah.
I don't want to be that guy, but isn't that red?
He's not a sylph.
He's not a sylph, but yeah.
Oh, okay, right.
He's
So.
an anazali. That would have been hilarious and sad.
Like, the guy you came here, he's the traitor. No.
Plot
Okay.
twist.
So, last name Verdine, a sylph who grew up with human culture. Or human influences, yeah, I should say.
Yeah.
Culture and influence. Okay.
Yeah, and that was right at the very start when the group was together.
Okay, yeah, then that would, I guess, be the trade. I would give him clues about whoever their traitor is, and they give me whatever information they have about the people who attacked them. Because that's essentially what we want, right? Like, I think we figured it out pretty much.
Okay.
You know, I guess, like, why are you guys down here?
Oh.
What were the circumstances that led to this event?
Also,
blah, blah, blah.
if you ever get the chance, I guess, because another tidbit to add to that is the virus that we planted. If the traitor ends up accessing the network, trying to contact his buddy, you could potentially, if you pressure them.
I'm gonna pause that.
Okay.
I don't believe that Amaya was there for that.
She was when we planted the virus, right?
Yeah, she was.
She was?
Yeah, that was at the
It
start
was
before
before
we
we
broke
split
off.
up into two and two.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
All right, that's right. I wasn't sure if that's the case. Thank you for remembering.
Yeah.
So, fair. It has been like almost a month.
Yeah, it's
so,
been a quite significant
Yes, it has
time,
been.
Which
That's
is
fair.
why I like wrote so many notes.
Yeah.
But if you can pressure the traitor and like set up a trap, like I'm not saying that you can convey this all at the start, but if you pressure him, that might be like a plan you could work on, because then he'll try to contact his buddy like, hey, I need backup, and then that would reveal them.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, if you want, you absolutely could use that as the trade. What you're receiving would be trust combined with knowledge, I believe sounds fair. Okay.
Yes.
So, if that's the case, you get to roll one extra negotiator die. because of the way that it works, because you're offering them something valuable. You're offering specifically him, so you probably want to pull him aside or ask if you can pull him aside for a second to do so, like away from the crowd.
Okay. I rolled a 4.
Okay. So that means you have 24 as your final result. Have him make a roll. So you don't see the results of those rolls in terms of like the full dice. You don't see the full dice roll, I should say. Okay. So he pauses, looks at you, and he sees from like the look in your eyes like you have something that you want to tell him. He just sort of looks left to right, looks back at the group. He steps closer towards you, leaning on that crutch of his as he's walking up. And he sort of looks over at Attore and looks at you. Is what you have to tell me something he knows, or is it just for me?
It's just for you.
Attore, give us a bit of air for a second. It's like 5 steps back.
He is the one with the guns.
Yeah. And Attore just sort of looks at him, looks at you, nods, steps back, holds his hands up. And you can see 2 of the guys with rifles are still trained on him, and they literally follow him as he walks back. And he is at this point pretty clearly out of earshot from you 2. And he just sort of like leans over. One of the like leathery reptile-like flaps that serves as his ears kind of lifts up a little bit. Go ahead. You don't have to say it loud. I can hear still pretty well.
That's good. Well, I believe you're aware that you have a traitor amongst you.
Had a thought. Yeah. What about it?
Do you have any inkling as to who it is? I have some information that may be able to help you narrow it down.
Haven't thought that far ahead yet. What do you have?
Well, from what my team and I were able to discover, we discovered that it is most likely a sylph who was raised either in an area that was either colonized by a lot of humans or that just had a lot of human culture like influence, lots of human influences, and that it's possible that they're from a house with the last name of Verdine.
All right. He nods.
There is another thing to go with that as well. My friends above managed to infiltrate one of the risk links of one of the enemies that we fought on top, and my lovely co-parts, who are quite brilliant, managed. I gotta lay it on. I gotta make us. We're the competent,
Right,
pretty
like
squad. All right, okay. We're hot and we're fierce. Anyways, so they managed to hack into the Wristlink system, and they managed to put a virus into the comms of these these instigators, so that if that traitor were to try to contact or send out a message, it would activate the virus. And what exactly does it do, Becky?
Oh, the blight. Zenith was the one that had put that in, and yeah, that.
What does it do? Zenith?
It's like acid
It
damage.
does. Yeah. So hang on, I've got to open the correct.
Because I know you guys put like a whole bunch, like a mouse.
Yes,
A whole bunch of stuff into it.
Okay.
So I just want to make sure, so I know exactly what to tell him, so he looks exactly for the for the signs.
Yeah.
So the big showy obvious bit was the blight bit. That's the bit that's kind of going to be like the oh dear at the other end, which is where it does corrosive damage.
Yeah.
So acidiness.
Okay.
Melt.
So it just basically melts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
My device just melted on me.
Yeah.
bet. Okay. I'll tell them that. So I'll say they managed to implant a virus into the system so that if the trader tries to send any comms out to the enemy, the system, wristlink, whatever it is that they're using, will have corrosive damage. It will melt. And obviously, if it's a wristlink that they're wearing, I mean, you know.
Ow.
And then Amaya's gonna be like, like, you know what'll happen. You won't be able to hide that. So.
Yeah, you do slowly nods. All right. So, you said Horatio, right?
Right.
I don't recognize the name Savari. That's not a thing. Horatio, though. We haven't heard from Horatio in 7 days. We thought he was killed.
Oh.
So, you think Horatio is alive and sent a message. And you can prove that, can you?
Yes, from the data that we collected.
Could you show it to me? You have it on your wrist link if you want. I imagine it got cloned to you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I forgot. Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
I presume you guys wouldn't take evidence like that without like distributing it around the party for safekeeping.
That's fair,
In case
yeah.
one of
Yeah.
you guys dies.
I
or
was
something.
like,
Things
I was
for
like-
the party are shared.
Yeah.
I was thinking, man, I'm gonna have to climb all the way up them ladders again. Yeah, Amaya will.
I can't yet. Give me like 20 minutes. I will be right back.
Yeah.
You got mingle, guys. Get some food. Right.
I'm like, man, I gotta do this all over again.
He slowly holds up his cloak on one arm, and again,
Yeah.
pretty big, like almost ape-like limb because of how long-armed the sylph are, and sort of shrouds your wrist link so others can't see it. And he looks at it. You can see his eyes narrowing. Make me a negotiation roll. This is an observation one. You do still get your negotiator die, but this is purely to read his behavior pattern.
Ooh.
Okay.
I
That's
also have to say above table, I like how Amaya's an Oraname because good luck reading her lips. She's literally bubbles.
yeah, that actually
Right.
is a fun little detail. Okay, so that is +3, so that's 7 + 4, so 11. You see as he's reading, he's very good at guarding himself, and he's a guy who's very used to keeping a level face and a cool demeanor around people that work with him. But you're pretty practiced in reading people's emotions, and when he reads the data and he sees the name, you can see his eyes flash for a second. There's like this very brief, very intense fury.
Oh.
And he slowly, like, he immediately, like, recaptures it. Doesn't even leave his eyes. He just nods. Alright, that's fair. He slowly lowers his arm. And he turns around. They're with me. All of them. Come in. We have much to discuss. And he slowly begins to walk in. Tori lowers his hands, sort of rotates his wrists a little bit. A little close there, wasn't that? He goes, not nearly. As they start walking in. And then Edu, as they're walking in, just like pauses and holds up a hand. It turns around and addresses the troops. By the way, which one of you was the one who said that, who let us know that, like, Horatio had died again? I'm curious. I can't remember. I know one of you guys reported their team lost. And one of them raises a hand. Human, mid-20s. That was me, sir.
He's gonna get a shot.
You saw it? Absolutely, sir. Tripped, fell, took a bullet. That's all I saw. And he goes,
Big liar!
yeah.
Like we're just like,
And Edu smiles and nods. Shoot him. And then the three nearest guys turn their rifles on him. Before he can run, they unload their entire clips into him, and he falls down dead.
You're like, how do we get information out of him now?
Yeah, I was gonna say no information.
Grab his wrist link. That's what Maya's like. Grab his wrist link.
Edu slowly walks up, reaches down, grabs the corpse's arm, and gently lifts up. And the bullets have sawed it completely off of the corpse at this point. And he takes it, folds it up, puts it over his shoulder on the side of the cloak, so the blood runs down the cloak and not him. And he turns around. If I find out any of you helped him, I won't have a gun be used on you. That'll be me. And that's where we're going to end the session.
Oh my god, hardcore.
Oh, crap.
So, I feel like that is a pretty good session for you guys. So each of you guys are going to get one point of experience.
Yes.
Actually, no, make it 2. You guys actually introduced into a new
Why
major
don't we
NPC.
just run up to an even 5?
No. I think 2 is good. So, I want to take a brief moment to thank everyone who's been watching and enjoying the stream. As always, I appreciate having all of you guys here, including my incredible team. So I'm going to have my team say their parts first before I get onto mine. So if anyone out there wants to find these incredible folks, you can find all their links down in the description of the video. Likewise, subscribe, share, comment, all the things that make little channels grow, because right now we're at 27 subscribers, and if we want to grow bigger, we need your help. And then finally, I just wanted to take a big moment to say thank you to my incredible patrons. Again, Ampersand, Atlas, and Heinrich, Necronomus and Souls Rolls, and Mossy the Mighty at Tier 3. You folks on Patreon are the ones who make it possible for me to do these streams, but also to make this TTRPG. Legacy First Flight is an indie TTRPG made by me. It has taken me 20 years to get it this far, and we're finally at the stage where I can actually start doing stuff, so you guys are the wind beneath my wings. If you want to see more about it coming out soon, including exclusive stuff and exclusive drops and downloads, please go to patreon.com/LastOmnitect, follow and subscribe if you want to help the channel keep growing. And does anyone want to say any last things before we go?
No.
I can't wait to meet the Mafia.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Lolly does.
No, this is like self-promo and I'm bad at it. But like,
You can do it, Lolly. Everyone's
do you
watching
want a
you.
Kraken?
I want a Kraken.
Who wants a Kraken? Or a really cool hat? If you go to my KOFI, you can commission your very own.
Nice.
That does also now include non-UK participants. We've figured out a workaround that we can do it.
That's
Yay.
awesome. Yes, please go follow, go find, go buy. Lolly's an awesome creator, and I would love to see you all support her. Support them, do everything we gotta do. And to everyone out there, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm Omni, this is my crazy crew, and we'll be back next time with more Legacy First Flight. Take care, everyone. Peace.